Hey everybody, for those of you that don't know, my name's Hoopy. Today in the garage, we're going to be working on some pit bike stuff. And what we got going on today is on my wife's SSR 140, we're going to be making it street legal. Just like I did my Thumpstar 212 over here. This way we can cruise around the ridges and stuff, and we ain't got to worry about the county mounties getting us. So after I get done converting this bike over, I'll put them side by side and show you guys the differences in the two. And we'll go from there. So real quick, I wanted to go over what is required to make a bike street legal. And there are some variances in it. Like the paper I had to sign at the DMV saying that I had everything done to my Thumpstar. It required headlight, tail light, brake light, handlebars, brakes, and something else. It didn't even have turn signals, rear view mirror. It didn't even have turn signals listed. Underneath this here, and this here is for Ohio, it says handlebars that do not rise over the shoulders, whatever, rear view mirror, horn and muffler, at least one and not more than two headlights with high and low beams, one red tail light including brake light or stop lamp, at least one brake front or rear, which may be operated by hand or foot, and must have turn signals on motorcycles manufactured after 1/1 of 68. So, I mean, the rules are pretty vague, and basically, to get this switched over, you can sign the affidavit and not even have this stuff done. You're just taking the chance on yourself, because you're saying you've got this stuff done. One of them says you have to have DOT tires, but none of the ones I'm finding online, like actual anything that says the Ohio thing on it, says that. So, I mean, there's probably a gray area there. But, yeah, I'll show you what I got for this thing. I'm also going to add the fact that both the bikes that I did, the Thumpstar 212 and this SSR 140, are both electric start bikes, meaning they have a battery and a charging system. That's kind of important because a regular kickstart pit bike that just doesn't have any of that, in order to run a headlight, you're going to have to put a lighting stator in it. So just real quick to go over the parts. Got a cheap $30 dirt bike headlight. $13 tail light that has integrated brake light and turn signals. Front turn signals right here, just some orange LED indicator lights. Mirrors, real cheap, $13 eBay. Rear brake light switch. This goes into the master cylinder for the rear brakes. Front brake light switch. This goes on the front brake lever. And then this little kit here was like $11 on eBay. And it comes with the turn signal flasher, the horn, and the multi-switch. Blinkers. I wire this up for high beams and your horn. I will try to put links in the description for all these parts, and I will also go over the ones that I did on the Thumpstar because there are some differences. Some of this stuff's going to be a little bit easier for me because I already put a light bar on this bike and just a little LED tail light a while ago. So I've already got some wiring ran, not much. The nice thing about this bike is too, it's got an ignition switch. First position is on, and the second position is actually a light switch. So that's how I will turn on the headlights. So just for a starter, I just sat that headlight there, and it doesn't look too hateful. Kind of a little bit goofy from the side. So anyhow, the top part comes up here and interferes with this light bar. It's a little too tall for this little bike. And these ears come in and hit the forks. And I could still go back farther. So I think what I'm going to do is I'll probably trim this off some. And then I'll come up here and I'm probably going to have to I'm probably going to shorten this number plate down to, I don't know, probably about in here. And then I can move that back and tuck that in a little tighter and make it look a little sleeker, I think. So I just took and marked me out a line across here. I'm just going to take a grinder and cut her off. That'll do the trick. I don't know. What do you guys think? I think that looks pretty good like that right there. It fits the bike a little bit better anyhow, for sure. So I think that'll be good enough. I got to figure out how to mount it down and everything. and then we'll move on from there. So I have a love-hate relationship with the white plastic on this thing. I love white. Like, it just looks good. It's clean. But white plastic sucks because you can literally see where it's like stained and stuff like that. So the purpose of me using these 3/4 inch flush mount LED marker lights is because I'm going to mount them right here into the number plate. So with these lights, all you got to do is drill a 3/4 inch hole, pop your grommet in, they just pop in there like that. And there we go, headlight with front indicators. So as for mounting the tail light, this little tail light that I already had mounted on here, I'm going to remove it. I'm going to leave the wires because I already got a power and a ground. But I welded this little bracket on here. I'm going to cut this off. I think it's going to be in the way for whenever we put that other light in here. So because of this grab bar from the subframe back here on this bike, this taillight's going to be a little bit more difficult to mount. That Thumpstar was super easy. It just went right in there. But so I can either mount it on the bottom of this bar, and then I've got this gap between the fender, and I kind of think it's goofy. I don't like it. My other option, I'm going to have to do some modifications, but I think would be to slide it on top of this. Now, like I said, I'm going to have to modify this to get it to come back down. But I think that's what I want to do so it's tucked up in there better. I just think that that'll be a lot cleaner and the way to go. So I think I'm going to take a grinder and cut these inner fins right here out. And that should allow me to slide that up in there farther. It's just slid up in there for now, but I don't think that looks too hateful. Rear side. What's throwing me off, making it look goofy, though, is the red frame, the black plastic. I might paint that little section black just to, I don't know, kind of hide it a little more. I don't know. But, yeah, I think that's going to work good. All right, so next up comes the headache part, the wiring. I'm not going to go into great detail. I'll give you some basics of how I'm doing it. You can do it however you want if you're even doing this. This is just what I'm doing. So just cover some basic stuff. Like I said, this bike's already got wired up for headlight. So whenever I put the light bar on here, I had already figured out that this blue wire up here, it split off and went to two different things, but that's power. So I ran one already back here to the tail light, and the other one comes here to the light bar. This green wire is ground. So it's perfect. I got power and ground here from the light switch. That's what I need. So to run my low beam, I'm just going to hook it to that. To run the high beam, I'm going to run a signal wire from this. Will go up to the button that I'm going to put up here. Then it will run back here to a relay. The relay will then give power to the light bar and the high beam. This way I'm not trying to run all that power up through the one wire. My turn signals and horn will be direct to the battery, so that even if you forget to turn on your headlight switch, your turn signals and stuff will still work. And same thing with the brake lights. They will run also directly from the battery. But I'm going to get to wiring, and I'll show you guys what I come up with. So one more step I've got to do before I completely start wiring is I've got to mount this multi-switch. And I'm just going to move the clutch lever and this kill switch over just enough to squeeze this in here, because that's where I want it to go. And to do this, there's an Allen bolt here in the back of it. This piece slides out. You've got to pull the hand grip off and slide this on to tighten it up on here. It does not split. Whew, it's been a long night. All right, so I've got I don't know, 80% of my wires done. I got everything up to the front, ran, my switches hooked up. Everything's nice and tidied in here. I screwed up. I meant to put my flasher for my blinkers or turn signals back here, and I forgot. So I literally had to splice it into the wire right before it comes up to the switch. It's hidden right here pretty good. I mean, it's tucked in there. You know, it is what it is. But let's see here. So there's a turn signal. There's a turn signal. And, well, basically that's all that'll work right now until I get some other stuff hooked up here. Let me think. The horn won't work because it's not hooked up. The light should come on. Yeah, there's low beam. And high beam with the light bar should work, yeah. So, yep. That's that stuff wired up. But it's getting late, I'm getting tired, and I'll be back on this tomorrow. Alright, it's a new day. I've been working on this a little bit. I went ahead and got the horn mounted right there. Horn's mounted right here and hidden pretty well. And pretty loud too. So, I'm going to go ahead and stick the rear fender on here with the tail light and try to get my wires ran up here to get them all plugged in. Alright, I got the fender back on here. Like I said, looks pretty good, clean. All my wires tucked in here nice and neatly. Everything's secluded. You can see the horn down in here is away from everything. I got the brake light switch wired in. I don't know if I can push the brake pedal down far enough right here to... No, I can't. Can't push the brake pedal down far enough. It'll hit the stand. I'll have to wait till I get it off here. I'm going to go ahead and get the seat thread back on this thing. And then we've got to wire up this front brake light switch. And that should be everything as far as this bike goes. Alright, there it is. Got the mirror on. Everything's all hooked up, wired up, ready to go here. So I'll do a quick walk around, show you everything works. So, as I said, I wired the brake lights up to work without the key being on. So there's the brake lights. We've got... trying to do this one-handed here. Turn signals, front and rear. And the horn works clearly. And then, when we turn the key on, there's the on position, there's the headlight. Headlight's on, tail light's on. Then, this button here is for high beams. We click it, well, okay, here, I'll show you. We click it, light bar and high beam come on. So that's the basics about all the wiring stuff. Nice, simple, easy. Everything's clean. I mean, you don't see a whole bunch of wires ran everywhere. Everything's, like I said, it's all... This here is probably the worst part of it, and it's not in the way by any means. It's just sitting there. So, yeah, that takes care of that. All right. Told you I'd do a quick walk around in comparison to these two bikes. This here is a 2025 SSR 140RB. It's got the big wheels, 17-inch front, 14-inch rear. I am leaving the dirt bike tires on it. She probably will not ride on the road near as much as I will. My Thumpstar 212. This is a 2022 leftover. I just bought it earlier this year, brand new, in Kent, Ohio, from East Central Motorsports. The guy said he had one or two of these left in a crate still. I haven't seen very many of them. So, anyhow, I converted this one all over to street legal as well. Same exact setup. Lights and everything work exactly the same, except mine are on my actual headlights are just on a switch. My mirror is a little bit different. I've got mine out front and down, and I can actually see around the side of the bike whenever they're up here on the handlebar. Unless you get them way out here, you're pretty limited to just basically seeing if somebody's over there so you can pass. But this bike also came with a 17-inch front with 14-inch rear. Whenever I bought it, I bought a 14-inch front and a 12-inch rear that I run in the dirt. I'm going to get the Michelin, I forget what they're called. But anyhow, basically, this thing will look like a Supermoto with these wheels on it. And then I will keep my dirt tires for the 12-inch and run them that way. But there's the bike side by side. I don't know if you guys noticed, I did a short on making this seat for my wife because the factory dirt bike seat absolutely did suck sitting on. I mean, mine's not great, but at least it's wide. This one was about that narrow, and it was like sitting on a board. I put this on here. The seat looks a little goofy, but you could ride that thing all day long and not worry about it. It's nice. But there's the bike side by side. I think they both look pretty good for what they are. Yeah, there's how you turn your dirt bike or your pit bike street legal in Ohio anyhow. So, yeah. Let me know what you guys think of these two little bikes. They're fun. They are fun to ride. So that's it on these two little pit bikes. And as for that, that's all you got to do in the state of Ohio to turn your dirt bike or your pit bike street legal. Once you jump through all these hoops, you go sign your affidavit. And if they don't know what they're talking about, I have a buddy. He took his WR 450 to get street legal. And this is in Monroe County. They argued with him and said, you can't do that. He made them call Columbus. And Columbus told them, yeah, people do that all the time. So they told the woman there or whatever what papers that she needed. He signed it, got his title transferred over. I went up to Steubenville. I don't know which county that is. Jefferson, maybe, I think. And they already had the paper. They just didn't have no issues. Signed it right over, done. Went to the BMV and got my license plates. Everything's good to go. So if you guys like videos like this, go check out the rest of my channel. Thanks for watching.